And I want to go back to, traditional financial advisors. Traditional financial advisors, if they were to use the term, financial freedom, that's a term that's thrown out a lot. Financial freedom in the generic sense means you no longer have to work 9 to 5. You don't have to work 52 weeks out of the year. You're free now to do whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's kind of like financial freedom, the freedom to do whatever you want to do. And we're saying, look, the retirement freedom plan is different. You're free to do whatever you want to do, but we want to give you something, a greater goal to attain, a greater mission to accomplish for the rest of your life. Freedom to give and to serve and to enjoy life.
Hello, and welcome to Simplify Your Retirement Podcast with Steven Strickland. Hello, Steven.
Paul, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, so
yes, absolutely.
Great day to be doing a podcast here, and so we're excited. I know that last time we were in this room, we were talking about the Freedom Plan, and it's trying to hold you back.
Yes.
Because this is the episode that you're looking forward to the most, I know.
Yes.
So, we've been going this season over kind of the different areas of planning and really looking at there's kind of 7 areas that have to be addressed in a retirement income plan. And if this is someone's first time tuning into this, obviously they can go back and binge watch or listen to these episodes, but catch us up real quick. What are the 7 areas of planning? And I know we're on the 7th area right now.
And the ultimate goal is the retirement freedom plan. So when it comes to 7 areas of planning, the first one is freedom, and it's the ultimate goal. But no one gets to retirement freedom. No one gets on the freedom plan without having these other 6. So we don't start with freedom. We end with freedom. It's the ultimate goal, the whole thing. And we're going to talk about this today, the freedom to give, serve, and enjoy life. And we talked about last time the freedom from fear and frustration and those kinds of things. So I'll start with the 7th one, which is the ultimate goal, freedom, which is what we're talking about today. But to get to freedom, we believe you have to have a couple other things in place. One is an income plan, and the other one is an impact plan. The income plan covers 3 areas: a liquidity plan, an income plan, and a growth plan. And then the impact plan covers 3 areas, and that is legacy, insurance, and taxes. So when someone has a liquidity plan in place, income plan, growth plan, legacy, insurance, and tax plan, you have those 6 things in place. And anybody can go back and listen to, like you said, any of our podcasts from this season. We covered all 6 of those in detail. Once someone has all 6 of those in place, then we believe you're really free, or you have the ability to be free. You have the ability to really enjoy retirement, which was the whole goal to begin with. And so, these are the 7 areas. And
we even further break those down, kind of grouping them together. The first 3 is kind of the baseline, right? And this is what a lot of people are looking for as they get ready for and heading into retirement, which is retirement income planning. And so the income planning portion of it revolves around the 3 buckets that we have: the liquid, income, and growth. And so that's what we're talking about in that area. But then once you have that set, then you can really start to have significance and be able to have a retirement that means something more than just surviving, right? Than just, I don't have to go punch a time clock anymore. And that's where really diving into the insurance and the legacy and the tax planning really makes a difference, because it helps take everything to the next level, which then the overarching, as you're talking about, is freedom. And last time we talked about how freedom is really, there's 2 parts to freedom. There's freedom from, and there's freedom to. And so the freedom from, last episode we talked about, is freedom from fear, frustration, and fussing. And definitely we want to help our clients get free from those things. But that's not the ultimate goal. Yes, we want to make sure that by doing the planning. And that's what eliminates those things. We can eliminate a lot of the things that cause people to be afraid during their retirement years.
We can eliminate a lot of things that cause people to be frustrated during their retirement years. And of course, you eliminate fear and frustration. You eliminate the fuss, and a lot of times it goes along with it. So yes, that's one of the things we want to make sure people have in place. But you don't just, there's no plan to do that. It's just these 6 areas will help people eliminate those things. And that's a great thing. So in other words, we want people to live their retirement years, the 30 to 35 years in retirement, without that. You should be able to go and freely enjoy the fruits of your labor, be freely to enjoy what you work so hard to be able to attain, to be able to get out of the 9 to 5, the 40-hour work week, the 52 weeks a year, the traffic, and all those kinds of things. And so if we can get people to that place where they can get to retirement and eliminate the fear and the frustration, that's definitely one big part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's a lot of times where people, they're so caught up in the fear, in the frustration, they're fussing with each other, whatever it is, because they don't have the plan, that they can't possibly imagine being free to give, serve, and enjoy life like never before. And so, you know, it's like you almost have to remove that roadblock to be able to see what's possible. Now, this is something we do every day.
Well, like you said, you know what I mean? You know, it starts with income planning with a 3-bucket approach. So you start there. Same with the whole entire planning process. But when it comes to retirement freedom plan, yes, it starts with eliminating fear, frustration, and fussing before we can get to enjoying the ability to be free to give, serve, and enjoy life. It's kind of like the foundation. So we could talk all day long about giving, serving, and enjoying life. Okay, anybody that has any retirement plan from anywhere, that's kind of like maybe, oh, I never thought of it like that, but that's kind of what I want to be able to do. But if you have not done the planning work in advance to eliminate the things that cause fear and frustration, you're not going to enjoy the giving and the serving and the life in retirement. So it is all of these things. So like, you know, like the focus here in the last 2 episodes, this one and the one previous, last one was freedom from those things. And today we're going to talk about freedom once you've eliminated those. Now, what are you really free to do?
Yeah. And you know, we've helped so many people along the way. And one of my favorite things, one of the things I enjoy the most about working here at Wise Wealth is when we don't hear from our clients.
Well, yes,
I say that tongue in cheek because there comes this point, and we've seen it, where when we're walking through the planning process, there's a lot that goes into that, and we hear from people a lot, and then they start into retirement, but then this weird thing happens, where the plan is working, and we've removed these roadblocks, and we've removed this fear and frustration, and people are actually out enjoying life. They're out giving. They're out serving. They're doing these things so much that they're not worried about calling us and saying, how is my portfolio doing? And we just don't hear from them much.
That's amazing. That's a great point, simply because there's a lot of people in retirement, they're not enjoying it. They have to have a quarterly review meeting with a financial advisor to find out, can they still have the income they need for the next month, for the next year? What happened to my ability to give and serve and all those things? But you're right. Over time, one of the biggest evidences that our clients have freedom is we hear from them less. And because they're doing what they need to do, they don't need to meet with us. That's not freedom. Having to come in and meet with us, certainly we can and we will. We want to make sure people are on the path. We want to make sure people are still following the plan. And so certainly we will. But one of the biggest credits we get is when people are out there, they're doing the serving, they're doing their giving, they're enjoying life, and there's really no need to talk about anything other than the latest trip they went on, what they're doing to enjoy life. That's what we hear from a lot of times from our retired clients. The things they're enjoying to doing, what organizations they like serving in, and those sorts of things.
We get that question. People say, well, how often do you do a review? I said, well, it's weird because we see this. And so, but that's also why we create events, you know, for our clients here at Wise Wealth, where we focus on continuing education, we focus on enjoying life, and we create these opportunities for people to be able to give, to serve, and enjoy life, because that's when we catch up with people. And there are a lot of people that's the only time we hear or see from them, a lot of our clients, because they are giving, serving, and enjoying life. And again, I know you've shared the story with some of our clients before, and I want you to share it if you're willing to with our audience here, because to me, this is a big question. And it's this idea of how did the mission statement, in a sense of why is wealth come, this idea of being free to give, serve, and enjoy life. So the mission statement is a little broader than that, right? But that's the big part of this is helping people develop a plan that puts them on a path to make work optional so they're free to give, serve, and enjoy life like never before. Where did that come from?
I appreciate that. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that I am a faith-based advisor. And so some people, maybe have read the book, Simplify Retirement. I tell the story just a little bit about when I first moved to Kansas City, and I'll go way back. When I was in seminary trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, what I was called to do, read some financial books, but I came across a passage in the Bible, in the New Testament, where Paul, who wrote a lot of New Testament, was writing to a young person, and he told this person that he needed to, and I'll just quote the verses. He said to him in the book of 1 Timothy in the Bible, it said, charge them that are rich in this world, charge them that have wealth, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but trust in the living God who gives us richly all things to enjoy. So there was one. Then he said, teach them to be ready to distribute and teach them to be rich in good works. And so when I read these verses, there were three things there. He said, I want you to tell other people to enjoy life. I want you to teach them if they have created wealth, if they've amassed wealth in this world, it's okay to enjoy life. He's given us richly all things to enjoy. That's an important part of life. Another one is that they're ready to distribute. What does that mean? That they're ready to give. To me, one of the best definitions of someone who has wealth, someone who is a wealthy person, means you have the ability to give some of that money away and still be okay. That is true wealth. Someone who is literally have the ability and the opportunity and the willingness to give their money away. So ready to distribute. And the third one was teach them to be rich in good works. So in other words, it didn't say tell them to be rich. It said tell them to be rich in good works. Anybody can do that. No matter how much money you have, you can do that. So you can do good works. You can serve other people. And so when I read those verses back a long time ago, all of a sudden something happened inside of my soul. Something happened inside of my spirit. And I said, you know what? That Paul wasn't talking to Timothy. Paul's talking to me. And that's the way that I felt. Stephen, you need to help people that have amassed wealth in this world, that they enjoy life, that they be rich in good works, that they're ready to distribute. You need to help people be free to give and to serve and to enjoy life, which is why we always say here, this is not a career. Anybody who knows my story, anyone who knows Paul's story, anybody who knows us knows we didn't choose this career. It shows us this is a calling for us, which is why we're passionate about it, which is why we enjoy helping people do it. It's not a job to us. It is literally our passion. It is our literal calling. And so when I heard those words, I felt like, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to do. And this was a massive, change in my life. It changed the entire direction of my life, where I lived, what I was going to do for the rest of my life, my direction as far as education and training and all these other things, all the other dominoes that fell into place. But it's because of that call, of that mission. And the mission I read in those three verses were basically, you need to help people be free to give and to serve and to enjoy life. And so what happened was I got started in the business. This was, 03, 04, 05. I started Wise Wealth in 2007. So I'm in the business for a while, and, I kind of got away from that in terms of I want to help people retire, and I want to help people get, as much money as they possibly can and build wealth and those kinds of things. And all of a sudden, I don't know how long ago, maybe 10 years ago now, I'm sitting in my office one day thinking, I don't know. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do with my life. Is my life going to be helping people get as much money as they can, as fast as they can? Is my life really about helping people retire and just live the American dream and not give back and do anything? But then I remembered. I remembered these words. I remembered the calling, and all of a sudden it really became, it became more powerful to me. It became something more relevant to me and to this firm. So, Paul, you've been around a very long time here with me in this firm. For a lot of years, we didn't talk about the mission being to give, serve, and enjoy life.
No.
But all of a sudden, when this happened to me, this crisis of belief or whatever you want to call it, this remembrance came to me. I said, you know what? No, this is why I'm here. If I'm here to help people get free so that they are more free to give, serve, and enjoy life, then I'm all in. That's what I want to do. If I'm here to help people get to the place where, as soon as possible, in as many people as possible, that I can help be free, not to do nothing, but to be free to give, serve, and enjoy life, then 100%. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm called to do. I want to find people that we can put on our team that have the same mission, same calling. We're looking for clients that resonate with that message. And I would just say that most of our clients have answered that call too.
Yes.
In other words, our clients like the fact that we're going to try to help them not just be able to walk away from their job. It's quote unquote, most financial advisors can try to help people do that. Leave your job. And so when we talk about freedom, that's not what we mean. We're attaining to something greater, than that. And so I think, I don't know how many years ago it was now, Paul, but that's when I decided, let's go. We're going to make this clear. We're going to put it in writing.
Yes.
We're going to make up our own hashtag, GSEL, which stands for Give, Serve, Enjoy Life. We're going to trademark that hashtag. We're not fooling around. This is serious. This is who Wise Wealth is. This is who I am. This is who all of us that work here, this is what we're all about. And for all of our clients. So we don't hide the fact that our goal for our clients is not just to quit your job and, have the financial freedom to do nothing. It's to quit your job, the financial freedom to do certain things that you can do good in this world. Rich and good work serving, ready to distribute, giving, in enjoying life, being rich. Yeah, he gives us richly all things to enjoy.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and I know there's a lot of people that are listening to this and watching this that resonates with, and they get that, and maybe they've never been able to verbalize it,
right,
but they feel it at the core of who they are.
Yep.
And the thing is, most of the people that we talk to that really resonate with this, and to them they understand this, are ones who try to do this already,
right? But
sometimes they just don't. They don't because they don't know if they can. And that's really where the plan comes into place. And so even when we go back to, we've talked before about what is a plan, what is not a plan. And you say it's not a plan unless it's written down.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that I say really takes us to the next step. When we talk about freedom planning, right, this is something that you proactively do. You have to be proactive with it, right? Yeah. Because when I sit there and I talk with people and say, what do you want to do and what does retirement look like to you? When you stop working, what does that look like? Oh, well, we want to travel. So you're going to travel 365 days a year for 30, 35 years. No, I mean, they think about the enjoy life and the big things they want to do. Right. But what about the day in and day out?
Right. It's like someone, if you tell someone, to do a budget, you don't learn to do a budget after you retire.
Yeah.
Okay. Because all of a sudden you're going to have to do a budget, then you're going to have to live on this fixed income stream. But so the time to learn how to do a budget is not after you retire, it's before you retire. Same thing with what you're saying. You're not all of a sudden become generous after you retire. You're all of a sudden not going to want to be serving in all these places after you retire. You need to kind of start these habits now. It's okay to do this now. We tell our clients, you can wait till you die to give away money to your kids, or you can do it now. Some of it now, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can wait until you retire to do all your travel, or you can do some traveling now. With your kids and your family, do these things. So it's not ever either or. And so this whole idea of, when I get there, that's when I'm going to do those things. Certainly if you're in the habit now, you're that type of person now, it's just going to become better then. You're going to be more free to do it then.
Yeah. And there are things you can do even now, like we're talking about, but also even if you've never done it before and you're in retirement, where you can start planning this out and doing this, and you can not just give, serve, and enjoy life yourself. But like even going back a couple episodes ago when we talk about legacy, the message you want to leave behind, you can start to create a legacy of giving. There are things like a donor advised fund, and we've talked about that before, where you can create this legacy of giving for your family, for your kids, for your grandkids, for their kids, your great-great-grandkids, and it goes on.
Well, I think we've done podcast, right? Or I think there's episodes in the past where we've talked about what you're talking about, because as you're saying this, I'm thinking to myself, well, there's a lot we can talk about when it comes to giving.
Yeah.
And maybe we already have, and I think we have. There's a lot we talk about when it comes to serving, and we have. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about enjoying life. I know we did an entire season where we focused on give, serve, enjoy life. We had clients tell their stories and those kinds of things. So anyone can go back and listen to these things. But yeah, so, when it comes to giving, yes, it doesn't mean give all your money away, but it does mean, that could mean giving to your grandkids. It could mean giving money to your kids. It could be giving money to your church. It could be giving money to missions or whatever, is close to your heart. But having a proactive way to do that, maybe through a donor advised fund, like you're talking about, might be a great way to do that. So there's giving. And we think, again, the words in that passage say ready to distribute, which is why I like a donor advised fund, because it doesn't mean I have to give it now. I set it aside in the fund and I'm ready to do it. When a crisis strikes, or when some need arises, or someone gives a presentation that speaks to my heart and I want to be able to give to it, it's already earmarked for that. It's just like we recommend certain assets or allocations for someone who needs income. Recommend certain allocations for someone who needs their money to grow. We recommend certain allocations or accounts for someone who wants to have a certain amount of money they want to be able to give away. And that's really what we're talking about there, being intentional, having a plan to do it. So there's giving. And then there's serving. Serving just means, hey, getting involved in some organization that, again, there's no right or wrong answer. Every nonprofit organization needs help. They need money and they need help. So volunteer, whatever. If you want to work at the animal shelter, if you want to work at the senior living center, you want to work at the City Union Mission, whatever it is, they all need help. And they all exist based on volunteer work. Someone who's not working 40 hours a week, they have the time to do it. And so finding a cause, we know that's important for people in retirement. Finding a cause, and that cause may change over time, but getting involved in something that you can give your time to.
Yeah, and when we talk about the freedom aspect of it and how it's kind of the overarching, right? When I talk with clients and people that we're working with about freedom, so this is kind of the overarching umbrella, because it guides everything else we do. So how do you become free to serve? Right. Well, it's to make sure that you have your income set, to make sure that you have all your bills paid, so that you can, so that you don't have to go to work. You don't have to be earning money. You can give your time away. Right. So it takes planning. When we talk about giving, right, it could be just, do I have the resources to be able to give, and to know that everything else is covered and I have this whole growth bucket over here that I can give? And then do I just give now? Right. And then from a tax standpoint, maybe I haven't converted all my Roth IRAs or my IRAs to Roth IRAs, and so I'm going to use a qualified charitable distribution to give. And so, Paul, that's why the planning, like you said, is so important. And it's like even going down to the point of enjoying life. Some people want to know, we have to help our clients a lot of times. Yes, what? You have the freedom to enjoy life. Why? Because you've done all this other planning. You have the money you need in your liquid bucket for the first 3 to 5 years that have known or planned purchase or expenses. You have the portion of money you need for income already allocated. Yes, the money that's left over in the growth bucket, you have insurance, you have your powers of attorney, you have all these other documents in place. That's what that money's for. You have the ability to be able to enjoy life. So sometimes we have to tell our clients, yes, take that trip, buy that car. That's why you have it here. And so this is why the whole thing, the whole overarching plan is the retirement freedom plan. It's not just getting to retirement, like we've talked about in the show, meeting with your financial advisor every quarter, worried about the stock market every day, not being free, always being afraid, always being frustrated. I wish I could give still. I still can't give. I spent my whole life not being able to do it because I didn't know if we could afford it. We don't have time to serve. We don't really have time to enjoy life. We can't afford that trip. And now you're in retirement and saying the same things. So we want to help people avoid that. The way you do it is having a plan, and even a plan to enjoy life. How do you know if you can enjoy life? How do you know how much life you can enjoy? It's going to be based on having a plan in place, having knowing what of my assets is available for the enjoy life category. Like you're saying, how much of my assets can I actually be free to give and not hurt the entire plan?
and still eliminate fear, frustration, all those kinds of things. So it really does come down to, like we've said from the beginning of the show, it's all of these things in place. And I want to go back to, traditional financial advisors. Traditional financial advisors, if they were to use the term, financial freedom, that's a term that's thrown out a lot. Financial freedom in the generic sense means you no longer have to work 9 to 5. You don't have to work 52 weeks out of the year. You're free now to do whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's kind of like financial freedom, the freedom to do whatever you want to do. And we're saying, look, the retirement freedom plan is different. You're free to do whatever you want to do, but we want to give you something, a greater goal to attain, a greater mission to accomplish for the rest of your life. Freedom to give and to serve and to enjoy life. And so when we talk about helping people be free, it's not the freedom to be able to quit the job. And I want to emphasize this again, because that's really kind of the focus that everybody has. The day I walk away from the job, and I know I alluded to this last time we had the podcast, and that is, and then no plan for the rest of our life. It's getting to retirement, but not through retirement. And the retirement freedom plan is about getting through retirement. How am I going to be able to do those things in the next 30 to 35 years? So when we talk about freedom, it's not finally being able to be free to not have to pack a lunch, put on a suit or put on my uniform, go into the job, drive in traffic, only get 2 or 3 weeks of vacation every year. Yes, that's a very minor aspect of this whole thing. Mm-hmm. That is freedom in the generic sense. But we want people to be free and then have a plan to enjoy the next 30 to 35 years. And the way you can do that is by planning. And the way to do that is by being involved, making a difference, giving, serving.
And very similar to traditional financial planning that can give you that generic freedom. Mm-hmm. Guess what? A robo-advisor can get you that generic freedom. I know this is going to set you up.
Oh, man, how much time do we have?
But like you've talked about before, right? What we're talking about is the heart.
That's right.
I mean, this is guiding people. And this is why when we talk about it as a calling, not just a job, why we get up and do what we do is because it's about people. And,
That's right.
You do have to care about people to have these conversations.
Well, even Jesus said it is more blessed to give than to receive. And so, there's all kinds of studies done about happiness, even in retirement. The people that are happiest, the people that are enjoying it the most are the ones that are giving back. And again, that could be serving your grandkids. Mm-hmm. That could be serving your kids by driving the kids to school and programs. There's all kinds of things. It doesn't have to be organizations. It could be your own family. But you're doing something that's making a difference. That's what gives people purpose, even retirement. So pre-retirement, kind of our whole identity, kind of our whole purpose is the job, the title, the role that we have at work. Now, all of a sudden, you walk away from the job and I have no role, no identity, no purpose. Mm-hmm. And so we're saying to people, look, you got to have one. And what you said, Paul, earlier, because it's the mission of this firm, we say to people, you know what? You need to go out there and give, serve, and enjoy life. And, good luck. No, we don't say that. Mm-mm. We say you need to get out there and give, serve, and enjoy life. And you find the things that are passionate to you, that you love to do. If not, we have a few ideas. Mm-hmm. So we collect ideas from clients of organizations they love to serve at. We collect ideas from clients where places they like to give and things that people like to do, so much so that we will actually create opportunities here. We've done all kinds of even like enjoying life events. We think our clients do a really good job of enjoying life in retirement.
Yes,
they got some cool stories, man. They're doing some cool stuff. But just in case they need something else to do, we're going to create an opportunity for us to enjoy life together. We're going to go to Chicken and Pickle this year and have a pickleball tournament. We've done some fun things together with our clients, but then we also create opportunities where, hey, we're going to do a service project. If you're looking for a place to get involved, here's what we're going to do on this Saturday or this day of the week. We're going to clean the park. We're going to do these kinds of things. And so our clients enjoy that. And then we might say, hey, at the end of the year, I remember last year in December, we did a giving drive, a toy drive. And so our clients brought in toys and gifts and things like that. So certainly we're not just saying you guys go do it. I can tell everybody listening to this podcast that every member of this team is passionate about giving, serving, enjoying life. It's their calling. We all do it personally. Mm-hmm. We do it as a team together. We encourage our clients to do it. We create opportunities for our clients to do it. It literally is the intrinsic, the fabric of this firm. Everything runs through that lens of helping people is the word that you said, be free to give and serve and enjoy life like never before.
Yeah, and recently I had someone highlight this, and how they phrased it, I think, is really kind of what you're talking about here. And it's, we've moved beyond theoretical to practical. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's it. This is something that people can practically see. Mm-hmm. We give them opportunities to practically live this out.
Yep.
We don't just talk about it. We model it, we encourage it, and we create the opportunities to do it.
And I think it's a very important point, Paul, that we focus on, there's definitely a lot of paper and there's a lot of, products and these sorts of things, but we do focus on people. And this is not a transactional business. And when I say this is not a transactional business, I mean wise wealth. Mm-hmm. The sad part about the industry in general is for a lot of firms, for a lot of advisory firms, it is a transactional business. It is about numbers. It's about, you need me. You're not going to survive in retirement unless you meet with me every single quarter and I scare you about what's going on in the stock market. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what traditional, we don't do that. So it's not about transactions. It is about relationships. Certainly, I would just say that I would put our team up against any team out there. We have a great team here of credentialed, qualified, experienced people. So in other words, yes, we are very good at, technically speaking, as technicians to help people get to retirement, through retirement, and we are going to do that. Mm-hmm. I don't want anyone to think this is we're just counselors here. We're doing financial planning, true financial planning for people, but we know that what really matters is not talking about standard deviation, historical returns. All that stuff is part of it. And certainly we wouldn't be here if that's not what we did. Yeah. So we certainly do all those things, but we also know that there is a human element. We also know that there is a emotional element. We know this is a relationship business. We know that people want to retire not because it's a financial goal. Mm-hmm. It is a human goal. It is a personal goal. There's a reason for it. And normally it involves people and relationships. And so therefore it can't always just be about the numbers. And it can't only be about the stock market and the financial metrics. The metric is about how much are you enjoying life? How much are you not having to worry about these things because you have these plans in place? And so that is the goal here. That's the focus here. It's my calling. It's your calling. It's the calling of everybody here. It's our goal for every client we interact with to be free as soon as possible. And by the way, we want to help as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. That was another thing. It's like, that kind of like reignited the passion. Look, if the goal is to help people be free to give, serve, and enjoy life, I want to help as many people as possible do that. Yes. You better believe it. Because that's the right thing to do for us. It's also the right thing for people to be free to do. And so as many people as we can, we want to help them be free to give, be free to serve, be free to enjoy life. That is true wealth. That is true financial freedom. When you have the assets and you have a plan in place so you know that you can freely give, you have the assets in place, you have the plan in place that allowed you to make work optional, so now you can serve as many hours as you want to serve. You have a plan in place that allows you to truly and freely enjoy the life that you've been blessed with.
It's fun to be able to work in an environment like that. Mm-hmm. And I pause because I don't, work is not the word. I mean, it is work. I mean, we do work, like you talked about, we do financial planning, but just to be able to have the team here. And so you've done a great job assembling a team of professionals that we all have our areas of expertise and combined, we're able to address all these areas. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing is the culture that's being created and the passion of everyone here. Mm-hmm. who themselves want to be free to give, serve, and enjoy life, but to help as many people as possible. And so thank you for putting together the team that can do that, for taking time to be able to put together a podcast like this, to be able to get this information out there. And then for you, our listening, viewing audience, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're experiencing fear, if you're saying, I wish I had the opportunity to give, to serve, to enjoy life, but you don't know how, or you've never planned it out, it's one simple step to start. It starts with a clarity conversation. Email us at info@wisewealth.com and we'll start that conversation. Give us a call, 816-246-WISE. That's 9473, 816-246-9473. And we would be happy to set up a time to start with the clarity conversation, to start to understand, what does giving, serving, and enjoying life look like for you, and how can we develop a plan that covers the liquidity, the income, the growth, the tax, the insurance, the legacy planning, to give you that freedom to give, serve, and enjoy life. It starts with the clarity conversation. Give us a call. For those of you who this resonates with, and you know people who need this message, share this message. It's very easy to share. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because it makes sharing easier, but it also notifies you when we have a new episode coming out. And so thank you, Stephen, for all that you do, for the passion for that you, and the leadership that you provide, for the heart that you have for everyone out there to be able to give, serve, and enjoy life. Thank you for that. Thank you for you, our viewing audience. You're the reason that we do this. We're here for you, and we want to help you be able to be free to give, serve, and enjoy life as well. Until next time, again, this is Paul Brock reminding you that financial peace comes from having a plan, and we'll see you next time.